This is a swine apple. That's what you're looking on your screen right now. It is a bacon wrapped in bacon stuffed with boneless ribs. Oh, yummy. But that's made in a smoker. I don't have a smoker, so I'm gonna attempt to make it in the oven. Now, you're gonna chop off the top of the pineapple and the bottom. And off the bat, I can say I made a mistake, and that is not getting a bigger pineapple so I could stuff more meat in it. And right now you're looking at my second mistake, and that's peeling it before I gutted it. Before I took the core out, the heart out of the pineapple. I should have did that before peeling it, and the reason is because while I'm trying to gut it, as you're looking at probably now, is I'm holding on to the squishy pineapple itself, and I'm not doing myself any favors. I could have did a better job if I switched those two steps. But anyways, I didn't fuck it up, so we continue along with the attempt of making this swine apple. Now you see that I gutted out the heart. I took it out. Could have been a better job, but anyways. Up next, we're gonna get the meat, and I'm using an applewood smoked bacon pork loin instead of the boneless ribs. These already come pre-seasoned. They taste amazing, and I'm gonna cook it on the stove right now. I'm gonna cook it on each side several minutes, about 10 minutes on each side at a medium temperature. Make sure I get a nice charred flavor on all four sides, and that's exactly what I did. Up next, I'm gonna put it on a cutting board, and I'm gonna place it side by side with the pineapple so I know how much I have to cut off lengthwise, and of course diagonally, and on both sides I'm gonna have to cut it lengthwise and widthwise. I'm gonna have to cut it, but when I cut it lengthwise, I'm only gonna try to cut it from one side so I can still maintain three charred sides, and that's the flavor I want inside of the pineapple. Alright, and everything is going along smoothly. I did make a couple of mistakes so far, but this is my first attempt at making this. And I must tell you, while I'm making this, my mouth was watering the whole time. I couldn't wait to just dig into this shit. Well, anyways, up next, after I put the meat inside the pineapple, now you could tell the difference between the whole and the actual big piece of meat that I had there. I had to chop off a lot. Up next, we get the bacon. I got some applewood thick cut bacon, and I went with the thick cut because we all know bacon shrinks, bacon shrivels up when you cook it. So I went with the thick cut, and I'm gonna make a bacon weave. Lay 4. You got to make sure how big the pineapple is. I measured it in the bacon, and it was 4 by 4, and the weave is only going over and under, over and under. Makes like a webbing, and makes like a wrap, so you can safely wrap it without the bacon falling apart or falling off of it. My bad. Bacon will fall apart regardless. And it was easy to do. There was nothing tedious about making the bacon weave at all. Wrapped it up. It's looking decent. It's looking good. I'm happy with the results up to this point. Then we're gonna grab some toothpicks to hold the bacon in place. Just use as many as needed. That way the bacon doesn't slide off and it stays firmly wrapped. Alright, and at this point, like I said, I'm happy with the results. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, you need a smoker for this recipe. Since I didn't have one, I don't have one anymore. I chose to make it in the oven. I kept seeing that picture online, and I had to do it. Up next, just grab a grab a rack and an oven tray. I improvise with what I have. That way, it doesn't stick to the oven tray, and it could just drip down whatever excess juices it has. And you saw that I'm putting barbecue sauce on it. That's that Kraft honey barbecue sauce. Definitely get you some of that. It tastes amazing. I'm gonna put some on here. I'm rubbing it with a spoon. I couldn't find my brush, so I'm using a spoon to spread it throughout. And all these flavors combined, man, just the smell alone, and it's still raw, just the smell alone had me going crazy. I'm gonna pop it into the oven, 275 degrees, already preheated, for about 2 hours. More time if needed. And this is what it looks like. Obviously, the first thing you see is the bacon fell apart, and it looks like some of it fell off, and it did. It was all disheveled and shit. And this is what it looks like. I mean, it doesn't look as good as nowhere near as good as that original picture you saw in the beginning, but it tastes fucking amazing. Now, would I make this again? Probably not, unless I have a smoker, because I want the final picture to look like the beginning one. But it tasted amazing. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all hold it down.